When you are looking for a ceramic coating for your car, you are expecting a product that gives you maybe a little bit more gloss, that mostly is very durable, is very hydrophobic, has a pronounced easy to clean and self-cleaning ability. That's what most of us look for in a ceramic coating. However, most of us are aware of the fact that all detailing products are inherently compromised, which means if you want all those things from a true ceramic coating, you usually know that the application will be complicated, tedious, that it is probably best left to professionals, and that if you do a mistake, you probably have to polish the car again. Now, it would be extremely nice and wonderful if there was a manufacturer that gives us all the advantages of a ceramic coating in an easy to use format. That's exactly what Masterson's Car Care from the US promises us with their Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating. A product that is as easy and quick to use as a spray sealant, however, from the performance of it, is as a true and real ceramic coating. And that's why I'm personally very interested in this product here, because if all the claims are true, then this is a revolutionary product. In this video, I will test it for you. So let us start with a look at what Masterson's tells us about this product, what it is supposed to be, and what is promised to us. Now, for a start, on this beautiful label, I have to say, design-wise, it's very nice. It says Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating, SiO2 ceramic technology, hydrophobic coating protection, optical clarity and shine. And then there is something that is, I personally think it's funny because Chemical Guys also does it. They place labels on their bottles, and those labels are supposed to create the impression that these products are somewhat tested, verified by external organizations. However, if you have a look at it, what those labels actually say is handcrafted in California, made in the USA, 100% satisfaction guarantee. There is no verification or anything like it. Those are just funny labels. Okay, so what else is promised to us? It says Masterson's Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating is the next level in vehicle protection. That is a very bold statement. Designed with advanced SiO2 technology to create the world's ultimate spray coating. So Masterson says that this is the world's ultimate spray coating, and it is obviously, that's what it says, better than anything that Meguiar's, Sonex, Turtle Wax or any other brand offers. Another bold statement. They also say it delivers super hydrophobic protection to any car, truck, motorcycle, RV, boat and aircraft. That's cool. If I can use it on any of those surfaces, that's cool. But what I can also tell you is that accounts for any other spray sealant or spray wax too. And the phrase that it is super hydrophobic, that will be important when we go on in this video. They also say that it creates a brilliant shine and maximum reflection. That's fair. A lot of other manufacturers also claim such things. They also say it applies on the surface and instantly protects up to 12 months. Up to 12 months. In regards to these claims that this product is supposed to hold up and offer a durability of up to 12 months, there's one thing I can very vividly remember when the product was introduced into the market, because Masterson's sent out an email in which they claimed that this stuff will hold up to 2 years. Now, maybe he meant it will hold up to 2 years on the panel, so after it was applied, so he was referring to the durability of it, or they actually meant that it will hold up to 2 years in this bottle here. Now, if these semantics are really what Masterson's is trying to play, well then all hope is lost. But it doesn't really matter. The fact is, this is a product which is promised to be very long lasting, either up to 12 months or up to 2 years. They also say it protects from harmful UVA and UVB solar rays for durable protection in any environment. They say it is silica infused, it creates a crystal shine finish, and it makes your car easier to dry after every wash. Experience, another very important sentence here, experience professional grade ceramic coatings in an easy to apply spray coating format. Those are a lot of promises, and in fact when you watch videos about this product, the manufacturer stands by the fact that this is supposed to be a professional grade ceramic coating. We will see if that is actually true. Now, before we start with the testing and the testing results, let's talk a bit of truth and let's talk about facts. They say it is SiO2 ceramic technology. Now, to be fair to Mastersons, that's something that the whole car care industry has adopted and which is just factually wrong. SiO2 is quartz and SiO2 is sand, and there's no sand obviously in those products. What is in those products is not SiO2, but SiO2 derivatives, silicones. So if you want to get technical, it's siloxanes, siloxanes, and stuff like that. It's silicones. It's not SiO2 per se. So that's something from the get-go that is wrong, but as I said, the whole industry does it. Then they also claim that it does protect from UV rays. The simple fact of the matter is this: what protects your car's paint job from UV rays is the clear coat that's on your car. In fact, it's the main purpose why manufacturers apply a clear coat to the base layer, to the base color layer, to protect it from UV rays. It is extremely hard and extremely expensive to actually test and verify claims of added UV protection. And the only product there is which does add significant additional protection from UV rays are paint protection films, or PPFs. Those, because they are thick and because of the physical circumstances, they can actually further protect from UV rays. Those products, and it doesn't matter if we talk about quick detailers, spray sealants, ceramic coatings, waxes, or anything like it, they may add a tiny little bit of UV protection, but it is not testable, it's not quantifiable. It's very hard, very expensive, and almost impossible to actually test it. And that's the reason why the manufacturers write it on those products. But then again, that's something that a lot of manufacturers write on those bottles. But that from the get-go makes it very hard to believe the rest that is written on there. The underlying issue with Mastersons Car Care is that this product here, the Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating, is only an example for what seems to be the typical behavior of that brand and the persons behind it. For example, Mastersons says that they are a family-owned business since 1947. However, if you ask for it and if you look for it, there is not a single hint about this rich family history and tradition of that allegedly long-running company. Not a single hint. Another example, the Legend Paste Wax, when it came out, and I think you can still go have a look at it on the website, the text that Mastersons uses to describe this product is one-to-one, or almost one-to-one, the same text that was used at Chemical Guys to describe their extremely expensive paste waxes. One for one the same, including claims like this is the world's highest quality paste wax, including claims that they use a patented 7-step creation process to make it. And I repeat it, I just don't understand. If you really think that you need, or you actually need, such sales techniques to sell your products, then maybe, in my personal opinion, there's an underlying problem with your product. Maybe you should invest your money in creating better products, changing your blender or something else, instead of trying to fraud consumers with a shocking lack of integrity in your marketing. However, we stay independent and we will of course test all those claims. Now, when we test such products, we always need a reference product to compare it to. Now, I am based in Switzerland and this is a German car care channel, so we would have usually grabbed something from Zonex, maybe from ADBL, a Polish brand. They create fantastic spray sealants. However, this is an American product. It's not, I think, actually sold in Europe. So I thought to myself, why not grab a very popular product in the US, and that's Turtle Wax Seal and Shine. That was the product that put Turtle Wax on the map of detailers, I think 5, 6 or 7 years ago. And it's a very popular product because it has proven to be very durable, very chemically resistant, and also very hydrophobic, and it's also cheap. You can regularly get this for under $10 a bottle, and this bottle has 16 fluid ounces, or 473 milliliters, as we would say in Europe. Under $10, $5, $6, $7, $8. This bottle here, with also 16 American fluid ounces, costs $35. Now, that's not per se a bad thing, because there are other products which also cost a lot, and if the claims are actually true, which are on this bottle, then that's fine. It's an expensive product, but that's fine if it can hold what the manufacturer suggests. So, I applied both of those products to the hood of my Mini, that's my test car, and I will show you now the pictures of the application process. I followed the application tips that Mastersons is giving us, so I sprayed it onto an applicator, I spread the product to the hood, I let it sit for a few seconds, and then I wiped it off. I did the same thing for the Turtle Wax Seal and Shine, although Turtle Wax doesn't necessarily recommend this application method. But I applied both of those products in the same way. Now, one thing that you will see if you watch videos about the Mastersons Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating, that the manufacturer tells us times and times again, is that you will see a rainbow effect on the paint, because this is supposedly to be a true and real ceramic coating. I, for myself, didn't see any rainbow effect, which already tells me it will be hard for this product to actually hold up to the claims that the manufacturer gives us, that this is somewhat of a professional grade ceramic coating. However, the rest of the application was super easy, super fine, and super nice. I have to tell you, it spreads very well, and it is also removed very well. So the application is extremely good. It's extremely easy, it's extremely nice, especially compared to the Turtle Wax, which is known to be streaky and it can be difficult, and I would definitely recommend to you that you let it not sit for a longer time on your paint, because then it becomes grabby and harder to remove, and it's also known to be streaky, so it can create streaks if you're not careful with it. So application-wise, the Mastersons wins by a long shot. You could now think that this is a positive aspect, however, based on the claims that the manufacturer makes that this is a true and real ceramic coating, this is already worrying. Now, in regards to the claims that this creates gloss or shine, I personally am not a person who believes in gloss meter readings, because what no one is telling you is the truth about gloss meters, that those are not standardized devices. Take 5 different gloss meters and you will have, if you apply such a product and then measure what it actually does, you will have 5 different readings. And if you apply this same product to 5 different panels, 5 different paint types, and use the same gloss meter, you will also have 5 different readings. Gloss meters are not standardized, and that's why I personally think that using a gloss meter in order to prove that a product actually creates gloss is pseudoscientific. That's what I would call it. However, what I did is I applied the products, the Mastersons as well as the Turtle Wax, to the hood of my Mini. I removed then the tape, and then I tried to see if there was at least some visual effect there, a darkening effect, a shedding effect, and I clearly saw that the Turtle Wax did indeed create a very strong, very visible darkening effect on the red hood of my Mini. You can clearly see it in the pictures I'm just showing you. On the other hand, on the side of the Mastersons, there was hardly any change in the visuals. I am completely convinced that if I would have wiped over the borders that were left behind because of the tape, there would have been no effect visible after applying the Mastersons Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating. But take that with a grain of salt. I personally think that visually, in terms of a gloss enhancement, this product doesn't really deliver. But still, I held my hopes up and I let both of those products cure for 1 whole day. At this point of the video, I want to give you an interesting side note. I went on the homepage of Masterson's Car Care and had a look in the material safety data sheets of that product. Now, what I want to emphasize, and this is a positive point, Masterson's actually gives us the possibility to download the material safety data sheets on the website. I don't need a password, I don't need a login, I don't need to write an email. That's absolutely positive, and that's, in my personal opinion, how it should be with any other brand. That's good. What's not so good is when I had a look in the material safety data sheet, I found out that every single one of the protective products by Masterson's Car Care has the exact same things and ingredients written in them. Exactly the same. It doesn't matter if I look at the detail sprays, the ceramic spray sealant, the ceramic spray coating, the liquid Canuba paste wax or the paint sealant, only the Legend, that's the name of it, the paste wax has different ingredients stated in there. All the other ones have exactly the same ingredients with exactly the same percentages stated there. Which opens up the question, if all of those products are exactly the same and there's just a different name written on it, which would be a huge scandal, or if the material safety data sheet is the same for all the products and all that Masterson's does is change the name, which is also not ideal. So this whole situation with the material safety data sheets already gives me goosebumps. And then I used a spray bottle and created a very fine mist of water and watched what the initial hydrophobics of both of those products are. And I'll show you the pictures now. What you see is that both of those products actually do something on the paint, because the rectangles in which I applied them are clearly visible under this very fine mist of water. So we already cannot say that the Masterson's does nothing on the paint, because it clearly does. In the next step, I used more water with more water pressure out of the spray bottle, and now we already saw significant differences. On the side of the Masterson's, we see that as soon as the water hits the panel, there is some water pooling, and that the beading is not actually that pronounced, and that the Turtle Wax Sealant Shine is a much more hydrophobic product. There is a visible beading effect, the water pooling is much less pronounced. So we already saw a huge difference when we used a comparably weak water flow out of a spray bottle. And at this point, I need to tell you something. I was at the labs of a large and well-known German manufacturer a few weeks ago. I had with me such a paint test surface, and on that surface I applied 50 different products. They all were spray waxes and spray sealants, and both of them were part of this test. In the lab, we measured gloss enhancement with a professional with an expensive gloss meter. We measured the darkening effect. They actually have a testing instrument there which can measure that. And we also measured the water contact angle. And out of all the 50 products I applied to that test sections, the Masterson's was the one product that decreased the water contact angle compared to the untreated surface. It decreased the water contact angle. And I think that's what we already saw when we sprayed the test sections on my Mini with a very weak form of water. So to verify those results, I then drove to a self-wash place, because in Switzerland, Germany and Austria, we are not allowed to wash our cars on our driveways. That's the situation we have here. And in the self-wash place, I used a pressure washer, and you can now see the results of that. So now with the stronger jet of the pressure washer, you can see that the water pooling is extremely pronounced on the side of the Masterson's, and that we have almost no water beading. It's at the max a sheeting effect. And a lot of people would now tell you that this is more of a sheeter than a beader. However, that's also factually not quite correct. Water beading and water sheeting are not two separate effects. Both of them are results of hydrophobicity. And the main influence in the question whether a product beads or sheets is how much water and how strong the water jet is that hits a surface. It's not the product itself. But that's just a side note. So we already saw that the Mastersons has a very, I would say, underwhelming hydrophobic effect compared to the Turtle Wax, the good old Turtle Wax. I wouldn't say it's the most hydrophobic product that we on this channel ever tested. Something by Zonex or by ADBL, for example, creates a much better hydrophobic effect. But that's something we see every single time we test American products. American products are not actually that hydrophobic despite the manufacturer's claims. However, in the comparison between these two products, the Turtle Wax was much more hydrophobic, and that's clearly visible by the pictures I just showed you. Now, my original plan was to test the chemical resistancy of the Mastersons Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating, because if a manufacturer tells me that this is indeed a professional grade ceramic coating or a ceramic spray sealant, because we are realistic on this channel as testers and also you as consumers, I expect it to last a few washing cycles. That's what I expect. And I actually used the Mastersons own snow foam and car shampoo, the Mystic Blue, which is supposedly safe for any wax or sealant or coating surface. I washed over the test panels one single time and then I rinsed the shampoo off. And then, well, you can see it with your own eyes. We see that the Mastersons Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating was completely removed after one single washing cycle. Completely removed. There was no rectangle visible in the water behavior on the test section. And we also clearly see that it is not a failure of my test section or the paint of my Mini or my application method, because the Turtle Wax Seal and Shine, once again, it's not the best product in that respect I ever saw, but there was clearly water behavior left where I applied the Turtle Wax Seal and Shine. And at this point, I have to tell you, on this channel, we are testing a lot of products. We put out one video per day at least. We have used many products. We have done these chemical resistancy cycle tests a lot of times. The result that I got from the Mastersons Evolution Ceramic Spray Coating, that it was completely removed after one washing cycle with the soap of the same manufacturer, was the single worst result I ever got. We saw a lot of bad products on this channel, including Shine Armor, including some waxes by Swiss Wax, but this result here is the worst I ever saw. It was shocking. I was standing at this self-wash place and I couldn't believe my eyes. Based on everything that the manufacturer tells us and promises us, this was extremely shocking. At this point of the video, for transparency's sake, I want to give you some background information. When the product was introduced, I was already extremely skeptical. Now, I said before, we do at least one video per day on this channel, which means we test hundreds, if not thousands of products. And when you do that, you get over time a feeling of what products can or can't do. You develop a very sensitive bullshit meter. That's something other YouTubers already told you. And with this product, I already knew that the claims that the manufacturer makes are, let's say they are bold. And when I saw that Greg Masterson, he is the person behind this brand. He was at Chemical Guys before. He then founded this company here, although they also say that this is a family business existing since 1947. When he posted about this product, I wanted to ask him a few critical questions about this product here, especially how it is that he says that this product here, which I personally think is water-based, maybe it's solvent-based, but I personally already knew that it will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for such a product to be the same or better than this product here, a true and real ceramic coating in a glass bottle. And I asked him some critical questions. And after I posted these questions, he asked me if I actually bought this product and used it myself, or if this is a theoretical, hypothetical discussion. I then told him, yes, I actually bought this product. He then went back, as that's what he said, and checked in his accounts, and he said, I didn't find you, you are a fraud. I then posted the receipt I have from his own online shop to show him and to prove to him that I actually bought this product. He then went back into his system, that's what he said, and he said the sale never actually went through, that he didn't receive the money. I then showed him the receipt I have from PayPal, and that PayPal actually booked the money off of my credit card. And then he said, well, that's not possible, you are a fraud, and then he blocked me. The reason I'm giving you this background story is I want to be honest with you, I want to be transparent with you, and with this backstory you can now decide yourself if this video is independent, if this video is a personal revenge from my side, which I can tell you it isn't, and you can also decide for yourself what type of person is running this brand here. Now, in order to test whether that product really is a true and real ceramic coating, as the manufacturer suggests, I will now apply it to this painted test panel. And we will compare it to a product which the manufacturer of that stuff says is not a real ceramic coating, which is GN Moos Evo. I will first polish this test section here with the Labo Cosmetica compound and polish. I will use a microfiber pad for the compounding stage and a Swissor thermo pad for the finishing stage. I will then use one of the best panel wipes there is on the market, Labo Cosmetica Veritas. You see what I did there in accordance to this video, Veritas, truth. I will then apply the two products here on this panel. And then I will let the panel sit here in my basement for 2 whole weeks, because I think that's still what GN recommends for their ceramic coatings, that they are not washed for 2 whole weeks. In my basement, it doesn't get cold, it doesn't get wet, it doesn't get humid, so these are perfect conditions. I will then have polished and degreased this test panel. It will have been down here in my basement for 2 weeks. Absolutely perfect conditions for both products to properly cure and harden, if that stuff really hardens. And then we can do some chemical resistancy tests, durability tests, hydrophobic tests, and so on, and see actually what's up with this stuff here. So you saw that I used 2 fresh suede towels in order to apply those products. Why? Well, because we can now observe what happens with those suede towels when the product cures or hardens, if it hardens. Because ceramic coatings usually do harden to some degree, which means that if that really is a ceramic coating of some kind, then this towel will either become hard or less flexible than what it originally was. And we will have a direct comparison to the towel I used with the GN Moos Evo, because with that product I already know, and you probably already know as well, that this towel will indeed harden to some extent. You also saw that I used way too much product of the GN Moos Evo for this small section here. That is correct. However, I wanted to simulate what happens when you coat a whole car with that towel. Because if I would have used just a few droplets of that product, that would not have been enough in order for the towel to then harden. So we applied those 2 products. I will now let them sit, as I said before, for 2 whole weeks here in my basement, and then we can start some further testing.
Eine Ewigkeit später.
Now both products had 2 whole weeks to cure, to properly cure in my basement. So we will now repeat the test that we did on the hood of my Mini, and we will see if the results are the same as we saw before. We start again with a light mist of water from the spray bottle. As we already saw on the hood of the Mini, with a light mist of water, both products actually do something. So there is, at the very least, an initial form of hydrophobics. And I think now every one of you knows which product is which, Masterson's Geon. And you can now see that we have water pooling with a little bit more water that's on the surface, whereas here we don't have water pooling and it's beating all the way. So let's now have a look what happens when we use even more water. I think those are very clear results. I will now use, as I did on the Mini, the Mystic Snow Foam Shampoo by Masterson's. We'll wash over it and then we will have an additional look. Yeah, same results as on the Mini. And one very important observation. This is the section where I applied the Masterson's. Here was nothing, nothing, and nothing. And if you have a look, the water behavior here and here and here and here is exactly the same. That's the water behavior you get from an unprotected, polished paint. Now, just to double down on what we actually see and observe here, I will now use Sienna Gloss first, which is also available in the US, a very strongly alkaline, very potent pre-cleaner. I will spray it on there, let it cure, and then wash it away. And I will also use Koch Chemie Green Star, a very potent alkaline all-purpose cleaner, pure, undiluted. We'll also spray it on there, and then we will see what's what. So we clearly saw that the results that I got on the hood of my Mini are the same results that we got here on this test panel. And look, I'm not delusional. I know that any manufacturer out there can call his or her products ceramic coating, ceramic spray coating. That's completely fine. I'm not behind this. I would personally say that the whole car care industry in their marketing activities should show a little bit more integrity. However, there's a huge difference between calling something a ceramic coating or ceramic spray coating and going a step further by saying that my product is an actual, true and real ceramic coating and another manufacturer's isn't, and that my product actually is better when in fact, objectively, it isn't. That's what we clearly saw here. Because what we saw is that GN Moss Evo does not care what you throw at it. Washing cycles with a shampoo, strong alkaline APCs or strong alkaline pre-washes, it withstood that. Now, I know that there are ceramic coatings out there which would not have done as good as GN Moss Evo in this test. That's absolutely clear. However, Greg Masterson himself called GN Moss Evo, I quote, a cheap Chinese knockoff, and we clearly saw that the cheap Chinese knockoff did far better in this test than the Masterson spray coating did. And that's actually, for me personally, that's the definition of a ceramic coating. That's what a true and real ceramic coating should be able to do at the very least. It should be highly and strongly hydrophobic, and it should be resistant in regards to mechanical and chemical influences. That's what GN Moss Evo is. So when Greg Masterson says that his ceramic spray coating is far better and that it knocks all other coatings on the market off the grid, I don't know what he talks about. Now, to be fair, I am completely aware that Masterson's is not the only manufacturer in the car care industry that calls his products ceramic spray coating. Sonax, for example, calls his spray sealant also ceramic spray coating. Turtle Wax does it and calls it the Hybrid Solutions ceramic spray coating. Meguiar's, on the other hand, is a lot fairer to you as a consumer, in my personal opinion, because they call that product Hybrid Ceramic Wax. At the end of the day, all of those products are either spray waxes or spray sealants. However, the main difference is here that neither Sonax nor Turtle Wax are trying to sell you as a consumer in videos, in the product description, that those products, those spray sealants and spray waxes are something similar or are the same thing or are better than true and real ceramic coatings. Neither of those other manufacturers and brands are calling this one a professional grade ceramic coatings. And that is a huge difference in the fairness of a manufacturer towards you, the consumer, and in the integrity that someone shows in his marketing. Now I have these suede towels here with which I applied the two ceramic coatings. And you can see that with the suede towel of the GN Moss. Do you see how springy that is? So GN Moss is not the coating with the highest degree of hardness, but you can see that the towel itself, there is actually a hardening effect. And on the other hand, when we take the suede towel I used to apply the Masterson's, that's not springy at all. There is no hardening effect whatsoever. And that already makes it hard to believe that this is something similar or better than this one. And with that, we have to talk about the conclusion of this video. Now, usually I'm a little bit more careful when it comes to those conclusions and what I say, because in the worst case scenario, a manufacturer could sue you and could engage in legal action against you if you are not a little bit careful how you phrase those things. However, let me be as clear and as straight cut as humanly possible in regards to this product here. In my personal opinion, this is consumer fraud. This is a product where the manufacturer lies to you. It is a shining example of a shocking lack of integrity in the automotive detailing industry. That's what it is, in my personal opinion. We clearly saw in this video, and no matter to which test panels or paint types I applied it to, it lacks durability. Its durability is not existent, I would say. It lacks chemical resistance. The hydrophobics are shockingly bad. They are absolutely horrible, and no matter what I compare them to, if I compare them to traditional ceramic coatings which come in glass bottles, They are shockingly bad. But even if I compare it to decent spray waxes or spray sealants or even quick detailers, it is shockingly bad. I cannot believe that a manufacturer honestly tries to sell you that this is some sort of true and real ceramic coating. This is, at the end of the day, that's what it is in my personal opinion. It is a probably water-based spray sealant, spray wax or quick detailer. That's what it is. And it's not even a good one in that respect. What I don't understand in all of this is, I repeat it, for me personally, this is scam. This is consumer fraud. This is a brand which tries to sell you something that it really, really isn't. What I don't understand is why this manufacturer doesn't act smarter, because it is possible to give us a spray sealant or spray wax that is highly durable and highly hydrophobic. Zonax has proven it, Meguiar's has proven it, ADBL from Poland has proven it, Turtle Wax has proven it. It is possible to make such a sprayable, water-based or solvent-based product extremely durable and extremely hydrophobic. So why on earth, Mastersons, why are you trying to give us a product or sell us a product that is allegedly a ceramic coating, allegedly very durable, allegedly hydrophobic, and it just simply isn't. It is none of those things. Why aren't you acting a little bit smarter and give us a product that at the very least is hydrophobic and is durable, because it clearly is possible? Maybe your blender isn't able to do that, then you maybe would have to change the blender. But this here is a product that promises to be a ceramic coating, which it isn't. It promises to be durable, which it isn't. And it promises to be highly hydrophobic, and it isn't. And that's the thing I don't understand. If you are trying to fraud your consumers, then act a tiny little bit smarter in it. I know what you think. Andreas, this is a bit harsh, this is a bit direct, this is a bit brutal. And to some extent, I would agree with you, and maybe you are right. However, I personally think that the whole detailing industry is not able to move forward if we as testers are not allowed to criticize manufacturers and brands if they screw up. I mean, if they give us products which are massively overpriced for what they can achieve, and if manufacturers state things that those products are supposed to do, which are simply not true. And independent of the fact whether those are lies or intentional attempts to screw you, or if they are factually consumer fraud or not, because that's my personal opinion, and I think I can have my personal opinion, and in most countries on this planet I'm allowed to express my personal opinion. Independent of that, I think it should be allowed to state if products don't work properly. Because on the other hand, there are so many other manufacturers and brands which are fair in their pricing, which are fair in regards to the claims they put out and what their products are supposed to do, that on the other hand, we should be allowed to criticize manufacturers if they screw up. Now, if the manufacturer wants to sue me and wants to engage in legal actions against me based on this conclusion, I welcome him to do that, because in a court of law, the manufacturer would need to prove that this is actually a ceramic coating. He would need to prove and show to the court and to the public that there is actually SiO2 or SiO2 derivatives in that, and what the percentage of that SiO2 content is in that compared to something like a true and real ceramic coating. He would need to prove that there is durability of this product. He would need to prove that it actually does increase hydrophobics. And I'm looking really, really forward to those attempts to try and prove that, because from what I have seen, this is not a ceramic coating. This is not a true and real ceramic coating. This is, I repeat it, in my personal opinion, this is a lie. This is consumer fraud. That's what it is. Now, if you are able to overlook everything I just told you, that this is not a ceramic coating and the manufacturer tries to sell it as a ceramic coating, the way that Greg Masterson treats you as a critical tester or as a buyer, the shady things I told you about the material safety data sheets, if we exclude all of that, if you are able to overlook all of it, Let's just quickly look at this product from a purely objective standpoint. It is very easy and very quick to apply. It also creates a very slick surface. That's it. That's all you can expect from this product. The durability is absolute shit. The hydrophobics are shockingly bad. It doesn't really smell nice, so it's not a very pleasant product to use. And it is, in my personal opinion, ridiculously overpriced with $35 for this bottle here. You can get massively better products for a fraction of the price. And that's the conclusion if we just look at this product from a purely objective standpoint. I hope it was clear enough for you, based on my video, based on my testing, based on what I showed you, how I came up with this conclusion. If this video was entertaining for you, if it was interesting for you, then please leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. We'll be right back.